Hey guys, AP here. Gonna go over my updated version of my shipping method as requested by a few people. So the difference between, I guess, this one and my other one there is that this one has no sorting. Hooray! Um, yeah, so that's awesome. We don't have to sort anymore. The time is basically the same, if not quicker. So that's awesome. And with this no sorting method, we're actually gaining more credits. So, yay, our time is the same, or if not faster. There's no sorting, and we get more credits. So, um, it's basically broken down into two stages. So, like stage one, it's basically going to go over like naming your planets, warp lane, hub, loadout, or layout, I should say. That's pretty important. What mods we're going to have on our transports. That's pretty easy. And then we're going to dive right into the shipping method. And, that's going to get into like collecting the offlane shipments, collecting the onlane shipments, and where to move them, when to activate shipment drone, and then moving our transports around the clock. I'm sure you've heard this in my other videos. Um, that's for offlane, moving our transports around the clock for now our onlane. So that's kind of the new difference compared to sorting. And then I guess the importance after that is just keeping our planets full so our shipment drone can uh, get the most credits as possible with that boost. So let's get into it. Naming our planets. So when naming your planets, you're going to want to start with your offlane and trade stations first. So there's kind of two offlane planets. There's the ones that are around the clock, which I'm sure you've heard from my other videos, I should say. This is what I call the clock. So I'm sure I have this nice clockwise offlane planets that I kind of move the transports around. And that's what those are. And then I still have two other planets here which are not connected. Now, when I only have 10 of the 12 warp lanes activated, and it's kind of one of the reasons why I'm doing this video now, because I feel like most of you people out there are going to be in the same area as I am, or same level, which is Red Star level 9, and you probably have about 9 or 10 warp lanes. So, I'm almost coming up to RS10 here, which is going to be done quick, which means I could get to another warp lane in there, but I figured because most of you people are at this stage, well, I'll do this video now. So yeah, these other two non-connected ones, that's the ones that I'm talking about. So there's the ones that are around the clock, and there's the ones here. So let's see here. When naming around the clock, you'll notice that I have all of these named like trade something. So I think they're all like trade 1 and then trade 2, but I put it as 22, and trade 5 and 3 and trade 4. They're all named that just for sorting purposes. Now I know that I said that we don't have to sort in this, but however, later on, being able to use, let's grab a transport here, being able to use these kind of arrows, the destinations up and the distance up and down, is and naming our planets properly, especially with them all named trade there, we can take advantage of that and be able to quickly load shipments on or off real quick. And so that's one of the reasons why I have all of these named as trade going around there. And an important note on that is this trade, when you get to your trade stations, even though we can name these, like this one's named trade 3, we'll never be able to name or rename the trade stations that's in them, in their name. So like that one is trade station trade 5. I can rename the trade 5 to whatever I want, but I'll never be able to name it trade station. That's kind of just embedded in there. So that's why, another reason why I named these like trade 1, 2, 3, and 4. The importance of naming these trade is that alphabetically we want that to be our highest I guess, letter in the alphabet we're going to use. No other planet, I should say, has a higher name. So after T would be U, V, W, X. None of my planets are named that, and that's for the sorting purposes for when we're into our transports. You'll notice, oh, we don't want to collect. You'll notice that the highest ones are trade, and then it starts going down, all the way down to A, which is basically, oh, I don't have any A's in here, but you can see the next one would be B, and then C, and then K, and it alphabetically sorts it. These other two offlane ones here, I've named them ping, upper, and lower. You can name them anything really, as long as they're below T, but they're the second highest alphabetical one. So like you could name them an S if you wanted to, or whatever. They just need to be lower than these trades, but they need to be the second highest over everything else. When it comes to the loading planets, I still have 2 loading planets. This one here is called Atoms, so it's important to name this one here the very lowest. So, every other planet beyond that is going to be named like a B or a C or whatever. This one here is going to be named an A. And then the other loading planet here, which is what our shipment drone is going to be is going to be, I guess it is the second highest. So these pings here are actually the third ones. I lied to you. I straight up lied to you. Sorry about that. But yeah, you'll notice it's named Titleist. So when I'm bringing all Onlane shipments to it, I want them to be going to this T planet. And when I'm bringing all Offlane shipments, they're going to be going to this A. And then basically any other planet can be named in between A and T there, or I guess A and P, I should say. And as you can see, M I got there, and over here I have a C, and you guys get the point. So naming our planets is essential. This is going to knock your time down, and it's going to make your unloading and loading of just those 1 or 2 shipments much easier than trying to scroll through and find them. So you're going to save time there as well. And believe it or not, by saving time there and not messing around, we're going to be able to keep this planet here, which is for our offline planets, as full as possible all the time. So when that shipment drone is collecting from them, that shipment drone will have the most amount of shipments in it, therefore delivering the highest bonuses or rewards or credits as the ultimate goal here. So that's kind of important, which is why we utilize the naming of our planets here. All right, what is next? So naming our planets. What did I have there? Warplane hub layout. Yeah, so you're going to notice that at the bottom of every planet, I've put the warplane, one point of it, directly at the bottom. Maya, Zoe, hey, stop. No, there's no one there. It's just the mailman. Sorry about that, guys. Where were we? Warp lane layout. So you'll notice right at the bottom of every planet, I have it there. Now, that's because it is the shortest distance for the shipment drone to travel from the warplane to the planet. You'll also notice that I have these planets in groups of 3. Now, for when our trades or when our transports are picking up the offlane connected shipments, I placed them in 3 because I don't want to be using the shipment computer waypoints like too many times, so I just only have to collect 3 of them. And when using shipment computer, you know that when you're going from one destination to another, it's going to deliver those destinations as well. So I don't want to be losing out on Onlane connection bonuses that our shipment drone could be doing. So I've grouped them in groups of 3. So you can see that this one here is actually connected to, this is the main one. This one here is also connected to this one. And then this one comes down to where my loading planet is there for the shipment drone. And then, yeah, that's that. We'll go over to another one as an example. I got one planet here, I got its moon, and then I got another one there. So this warp lane is connected to here, this one is connected to here, and then the main hub is connected down to the loading planet over there. Just like the same over here, I got this one, and this one. They're both connected to this one, and then the main hub comes down. So you'll notice that I have these in this kind of neat little triangle configuration. And that just means that the shipment drone, when it comes up to, say, this hub here and it wants to get over to that planet there, it's going to travel the least amount of distance going to it, as well as going to over to, if it wants to get over to this one, it would travel over to that one. So the distance is the same regardless. You wouldn't want to have, say, this hub here over like mirrored on the right side, kind of like, you can't really see it, over to the right side of this planet here. So it kind of would look more like a V as opposed to a triangle. I mean, I guess a V can still look like a wider triangle, but what would happen is when your shipment drone is moving from one to the other, it would actually be a little bit longer, and 1 or 2 seconds matters. So I mean, we're just utilizing our shipment drone's travel. So same thing here, we got the 3 there, and then same thing here, I got that triangle configuration as such. I guess down over here would be that example of like this one here traveling to that one there. Even though like these 3 would make a triangle, it's a greater distance for things to travel. So that's why they're set up like that. So you can go into my system and view the warp lane layout there to help you set it up. What's next? So transports. The mods that we want to have on the transport. So really, we have 3 kind of zones here. As you can see, I got this guy, this planet, and this planet. That's one group of 3. I have these other groups of 3 here, and then I have these group of 3 planets. So therefore, I need 3 transports with shipment drone on them. So that's shipment computer, I should say, not shipment drone, shipment computer. And the other mods that are going to be with them is shipment computer, boost, burst, and rush. And then of course, where is it? Cargo bay. I think that's that one. Extension. So each one of those, for those groups of 3, as you can see, there's one of them. I have another one here. And then this guy here, I have it as well. Now this is the starting point. Actually, this guy's in the wrong starting point. He should be there. But I have the starting point at the end of the warp lane, as you can see, for this one here. At the end of the warp lane for this one here. And then this guy's moving over to the correct one. So there's no saying that when you're going to be like logging off the game that you can't, if you know that the next thing you're going to do when you log back into the game is that you're going to do shipping, to not have your, why wouldn't we have our transports in the shipping positions ready to go, so that when you do go to log in, your shipping time is going to be lower. Like if you only have 10 minutes on a break to get it done, if you have those transports already in place, then you can hammer them off that shipping cycle in 10 minutes. And yes, if you look at my other video, I got one out there, I think it was 7 minutes and 30 seconds, and that was with sorting. We're not sorting anymore, so technically we should be able to get this even lower than 7:30. I also got a couple warp lanes I can add in there. I think my time modulator is only level 11 of, 16. So I mean, we can definitely get this a lot quicker. So having those transports already set up in their shipping locations is going to help you as well. Okay, so I guess that's a brief thing. That was naming our planets, the importance on that, the warp lane layouts, having those correctly, and then having the correct mods on our transports. I should briefly just touch up on some of our other transports. You'll notice I'll always have teleport, and I'll have shipment bean on them. As well as I got one guy over here that has the shipment bean. I don't use recall anymore. So that guy's just been alive for a while. He hasn't died. I got the teleport on there. But I also got the shipment drone. So you only need one with the shipment drone on there. But every other guy has teleport on him and shipment beam. This should kind of be your basic loadout for everyone, except you're going to have one guy with the shipment drone on it. That guy right there. So now getting into the shipment method. It's the same as the other videos. We want to take all offlane shipments from all of our planets to this loading planet here. And then from there, we're going to move our transports around the clock. And then we want to be able to gather those other shipments that are in here. These are, as you can see, like anything that's like a C or a K or whatever. I know that those are my Onlane shipments. So we want to get those down to this other loading planet here. So our shipment drone can pick them up and make use of that hefty shipment drone bonus. So one, we want to get all those offlane shipments to there. So how do we do that? Well, I'm actually going to kind of show you the importance of shipment computer and how to do that. So let's start with this guy here. It doesn't matter where you start as long as you're starting with your transport that has the shipment computer on it. So we can start here or we can start over here, but basically how to take advantage or how to use shipment computer properly is you always want to select your destinations. So in this case, I'm going to select this guy first, and then that guy, and then that guy, because that's that group of 3. And then I'm going to select this warp lane hub here. And then I'll go around the clock. And by selecting that warp lane here, that means I can cancel the waypoints after this transport has collected all of the offlane shipments from these planets, and then I'll just put them right here to this loading planet here. And he's not going to travel along the clock and go around it and deliver those shipments. He's actually going to just leave them right there. So that's kind of the first thing we want to do. Now, you may say, well, why not just send them around? Well, I have one of these. You'll notice that this guy here on the last shipment cycle, I used trade burst and boost. And I want to use those again, so I'm going to use this guy here. He's actually probably going to be my guy that's going to deliver around, or this guy here. So yeah, you'll always have a transport with the boost and the burst function to take advantage of. So here, I'll give you an example of what that is. I'll do those 3 transports here and move them around. So it's as easy as grabbing that guy, grabbing the destination, hitting the next one. That's the group of 3. Now I'm going to send them there, and then I'm going to send them around the clock. You'll notice I only have 8 seconds, 7 seconds to do it. Hey, look, I'm done. 5 seconds to spare. So I'll grab this guy, send him there to this group of 3, select that warp lane. Got more than enough time. Look at that. I had 9 seconds left to do it. And I am not going quick at all here. Okay, so this group of 3, I'll send him around. Select the next waypoint. And send him around the clock. Okay, so that's basically that. Simple, very simple. These guys are now working for us. They're utilizing our time, so that's one of the main things about using the shipment computer. Yeah, they may deliver a couple of shipments, but ultimately, it's really not that much. Ultimately, the purpose of these guys is to collect all our offlane. So now this guy here that I got selected, he's done. So like I said, now I'm going to hit the cancel, and you can see that I'm canceling it. His last waypoint was that warp lane hub. So I'm just going to select him again. I'll hit the next one, and I'll send him to the planet. So now he's going to go there. These guys here are kind of finishing up. This guy here would be the next one. And then after that, I'll do the same thing, and I'll cancel. So while those guys are going, I should have enough time to explain this. I'm going to select this guy here, which is the other 2. These guys are the other 2. I'm just going to quickly jump on them, download everything, teleport him to that guy. This guy I'm actually going to make sure he's all on the trades, just because he can't collect them all, and I want to get all those offlanes first. So I'm going to put him there, and I'm going to teleport him there. So these guys are now coming. We'll get this guy first because he's got less distance to travel. I'll cancel all his things, send it to the planet, grab that guy there. I'll cancel all his things, and I'll send him to the planet. Look at that. We've collected all our offlane shipments, except for these two guys down here. I'm just going to unload, offload. You'll also notice that I'm using my ICE 2, the guy with the 50. And I'm using a secondary planet that has 40 up here. Now, I mean, we have a couple other planets like this guy over here, which is a 40, but, you know, however your system is laid out, meaning the planets where they were discovered is going to determine which one you want to use, but ultimately you should be able to do it in any way. And if you have troubles with that, fire me a text. I'll easily find it for you and help you out. So this guy here, he's got a few there. We can't a few shipments left on him, but we can't unload them. However, we can just grab this guy here. We can select the destination up. So we're going to collect all our offlane shipments. That was the importance of us naming our planets. Download them all. Oh, look, I still got a few. That's okay. Send him up there. This guy here, I can now offload 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See how easy that was? They were automatically already on the top there waiting for me to grab them. And that was the importance of why we named our offlane planets here the way we did. So now these guys are coming up here. And basically all of our offlane shipments are going to be there. So really, I did this in slow time. I could utilize my time while those transports were collecting all the offlane shipments, and I can go to all these other transports here. And in the meantime, I could be collecting all of the Onlane shipments. So I'll send that guy there. I usually have lots of hydro, so I just kind of beam that guy there to save on time. These guys here, you'll notice I got both of them there. I'll grab them, and then I'll send them to that kind of main hub. Grab this guy, kind of send him to that main hub, and you say, and I'll explain that why later. Why wouldn't you just do the same as this guy over here? Well, we'll get to that in a second. Grab these guys, send them to this one, send them to this one, and then, yeah, you guessed it, once these guys are here and here, I'm actually going to offload and then load again, and then send them to this loading planet here, which is where our shipment drone is going to do, or be. Now, technically, after I remember that transport I had on here, and it had the shipment drone on it, when I teleported into here, I would have activated shipment drone right away. And the reason for that is because you might as well get them working. We're going to be able to keep this planet full at all times. So to utilize our time and turn our shipping cycle from 15, 20, 25, 30 minutes, whatever you guys are currently at right now, we can get them down into about 7, 8 minutes. Under 10, no problem. If you're not under 10, then you're doing something wrong. But because I'm explaining this, I didn't do that because I want to show that a little later for you. So let's get back to these guys and why I sent them to here and not directly to this guy down here. Who are you? Oh yeah, you're that guy. So you'll notice that when we got a title list in there. Now that title list is this loading planet name. So like when I select that guy, the number 2 pops up. That means a shipment's going to him. Well, we still want to make use of our shipment drone. So if I offload and I change my destination from not up but to destination down, where now I'm alphabetically starting with the A's, and then it's going to go A, B, C, D all the way up to T. You'll notice that I only went up to M because I had a bunch of there, and I'll send him there. And now he doesn't have those title lists or the shipments going to this loading planet. Do the same here, collect it there. Now that planet has quite a bit on it. Actually, I should say these 2 planets had a lot of shipments going to that one. So that's okay. And this guy, how many can he hold? He can hold 35. I'll still fire him down over here, but our shipment drone will be able to make use of those. So here, I'll show you over here. This one should be easier. So as you can see, I can download here. I'll go to the bottom, fire him up, grab one of those. Now the Titleist is there. This one here I'll offload, and then when I download, it should be Titleist on top, which we had 4 of them. See how easy that was? Naming our planets appropriately allowed is now going to allow my shipment drone to gain another 110% on those, or is it 150%? I don't know. What is the shipment drone over here? That's that guy. 15 plus whatever, so quite a bit. 105 or something like that. Maybe a bit more percentage. So now he's going to make use of those. So now I have all of these guys here. We're at my loading planet, which essentially the shipment drone would have been picking shipments up and dropping off. So I would be constantly unloading these transports, because you always want to make sure that the planet is max, so that when that shipment drone comes to it, it's going to pick up the max amount of shipments. But we haven't activated it yet, so let's get back to this guy. So we're around the clock now. We want to get our offlane planets going. We want to make room here so we can unload all of our offlane planets onto this loading planet here. So what we'll do is we'll offload them there. I already got this set up to had it set up to the destination down, but I just cycled through to show you. I'll download them all, and then I'll quickly unload. Look at that, because we named our planets accordingly, and they were right at the top there, waiting to be unloaded very quick. And then I can send that guy down to there, and now every Onlane shipment is there except for the ones around the clock. So that brings us to the next part of our shipping cycle here, or method, or portion of the shipping, is now the offlane and onlane shipments. So we're first going to start, we're going to unload these transports, the ones that have the shipment computer to them. We're going to unload them. And there we go. And look at that. This guy here still has a few, but that's okay. That's all. You're never going to avoid that unless your planets weren't full. In my case, the planets are full, as you can see by these 2. But here comes the next part. What we're going to do is we're going to send him, or maybe I should explain it. So basically, I'm going to use the guy that has ship trade burst and boost on it. I'm going to send him around the clock. I'm going to activate those, so I'll maximize the credit bonus going around them. And then after he's done 2 cycles, sometimes it's even 1 cycle, and there are no longer shipments that are going to go from, like you can see, I collect shipments, or I select this planet here. I still have a shipment that's going to go over to this one on the left here, that 1, or up on top there's a 1. So when there's no shipments that are going to go around the clock anymore, then I'll start using that guy and start sending them back to the groups of 3 here. And that's mainly the difference from this video to the other ones, where I used to sort, and you can see here I got 1, 2, 3, 4, like these are all in order for me to sort, and like super quick, super fast for sorting. But I want to be efficient. I don't like sorting. It's kind of painful. You can still do it pretty quick, but why not do it faster and use our transports with shipping computer on them to give us more of a bonus for our Onlane planets, or our Onlane shipments that are attached to these. Before, I would just send one to one of the destinations, collect the Onlane planets, send them back, and then send them back down to this guy and then Offlane. And well, now I'm going to be able to get that shipment computer or another, I think mine's 18%, but another 20% bonus on all of these is actually significant. So let's start the process here. We're going to select our hub so we can bounce off it, select our planet, and then we'll just send him around. And like I said, I send him around twice just to ensure he's going to get everything. And there that goes here. I'm going to speed this up so it's not painful. And there he goes. Oh, I better get those going quick. Yeah, just snuck it in. Perfect. I do use the time modulator. Just be cognitive that when every time you do it, that shipment drone is going to be collecting from this planet much faster. In fact, we could probably get him going. He's down over here, isn't he? Why don't we just get him going? So there he goes. Yeah, let's keep him full. All right, let's slow it down. So yeah, I'm going to select this one here, this one, this one, this one, this one. So you can see that none of these planets have it. The only one is this guy here has shipments for there. So what I mean by that is let's utilize our other two transports here and get them working. So what I'll do is I'll just actually, you don't have to bounce off the hub and back to the planet. You can just go around the clock, and then kind of like what we did in the beginning, we're going to go in reverse to our groups of 3. Select those. However, we do have these planets here that I use as storage for my arts that we need to collect shipments from as well. We'll get him going. Go to this group of 3. We will select these 3 here, just in case. And then we still have this group of 3 here, right? And that's what that guy there is going to do. But he still has some work to do here, so we'll speed this up so it's not painful. We'll unload those and get him going there. Let's see. Looks like he has to move to these ones here. And yeah, let's not forget about down here. Constantly keeping this guy full. That was just a spare transport that we don't need there. So that guy is coming over. Oh, let's get him going to there. Bounce him back to there. And then now we're going to slow time this just once this guy gets to there. So there, deactivate that. So now that these guys are done, I'm just going to cancel. Oh, I forgot to select that hub. So that's the importance of it. That's okay. That's why we always have teleports on them. If I would have selected that hub, I could have just gone there and he would have done it. But I had to use teleport because, oops, I fucked up. So now this guy here, he needs to also go around the clock. So we'll get him going around, and then we'll actually select the hub as we should. So there's the hub there, and then we'll select the group of 3. We also got these other 2 here that we need to get. And we'll get this going quicker so it's not as painful. Get down here. That drone is super quick. He's always picking up. We want to make sure he's got max shipments in him. And yeah, we're almost basically done, people. Like, I'm sure by now you can figure out the next steps where once this guy has picked up all these guys, all these shipments, I'm going to cancel his waypoint there, and then I'll send him to that guy there. And then the only other shipments after that that are left are some offlane shipments. Oh, he's full. And that's for this guy and this guy. And those are super easy. Probably be another minute and then we'll be done. Maybe not even. Just as long as this guy gets to here. So here he comes. Perfect. I'm going to cancel. And now I can send him there. I didn't have to teleport him. In the event that you fuck up, or your guy is actually starting to go to one of these planets because you were too slow getting to him, you can always just hit that teleport, which is going to save you a lot of money, or give you a lot of money, save you some money. Okay, so here, let's speed things up. Let's get this guy so I can offload him. And then what I'll do is I'll send him to there, I'll bounce him off, send him to there, because that's the other two, right? We can cycle through to see if any of our transports have any of them. Nope. So we're actually pretty good in that department. You can see he picked up 30. Jesus. So now we can offload these. Get this planet full. He's going to come down, grab those ones, come to the planet. And yeah, we are essentially done. That's it. Yeah, there might be one or two here. Where did this guy go to? Oh, he comes down to here. So yeah, that's the importance of beam. If there's any that are left on here, that's okay, because in a 24-hour period or in a 12-hour period, you're never going to have 18. You're never going to max out the shipments that could be loaded into here. All right, so that is basically it. Sounds confusing. It really isn't. What I'm going to do is I'm going to apply some text to this video here, and I'm going to apply some times. So the text is going to be there, so it'll explain it again in case you don't got audio or you're sick and tired of my voice. But it'll also have timing, so like if you want to know what to do for the clock portion, you can quickly jump to this time, or if you're going to want to go to the naming your planets, you can quickly go to this time. So all right, thanks guys. I hope you enjoyed that. And yeah, enjoy the much faster shipping cycle and a lot more money.